Hey guys, so the new year is here, and today I'm going to be talking about the book-to-movie adaptations that are coming out in 2017, and there's a lot of them. I just kind of grabbed the ones that I think sound really interesting and the ones that I'm excited to see on the big screen, but if I missed one of the ones that you're excited for, feel free to tell me in the comments down below. Now, to start off this list is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The movie adaptation actually hit theaters on the 6th of January, so it's already out. Like, you can go see it right now. I've read the book twice now, and I'm sure I'm going to read it more times than that. This story is about a boy who is going through a lot. He's being bullied at school, and his mom is diagnosed with a terminal illness and is slowly dying. And every night this boy is visited by a monster who looks suspiciously like Groot. And this monster kind of teaches him lessons about how to cope with his feelings and how to deal with everything that's going on in his life. The movie is starring Sigourney Weaver and Louis McDougall. I'll leave some links down below to some of the trailers. If you haven't seen them yet, I definitely recommend checking those out. Next up is The Zookeepers Wife by Diane Ackerman. This is a true story about the keepers of the Warsaw Zoo during World War II, that rhymes, who helped to save hundreds of Jews from the Nazis by smuggling them into the empty cages at their zoo. This movie adaptation is starring Jessica Chastain and Johann Heldenberg, and it is coming out on March 31st. Beauty and the Beast comes out on March 16th, and it stars Emma Watson and Dan Stevens. I'm really excited for this adaptation because they're not trying to make it like darker, they're trying to make it more like the original Disney cartoon, which I am very excited about. The next adaptation is The Lost City of Z by David Gran. This is a true story about a famous explorer who went missing searching for an ancient civilization in the Amazon in 1925. This movie is being directed by James Gray, and it is starring Charlie Hunnam, Robert Pattinson, and Sierra Miller. And it will be in theaters on April 21st. They already have a trailer for the movie, so I'll leave a link to that down below. Next up is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I have heard so much about this book, and the movie adaptation comes out on April 7th, and it is starring Julia Roberts and Jacob Tremblay. The story for this one is about a boy who was born with a facial deformity and how he struggles to fit in with his new school. Next up is The Dark Tower, and this movie is based on the magnum opus fantasy series by Stephen King. It follows a gunslinger moving through a magical society in search of the Dark Tower. The cast for this one includes Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey, and Tom Taylor, and this movie adaptation is coming out on July 28th. Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. I'm not really the biggest fan of John Green, but I do like myself some holiday movies, even if they're kind of the cheesy romance type of holiday movies. Now, I'm not saying that's what this is going to be, but this is an anthology set around the holiday about 3 different romantic stories that somehow conjoin into each other. No one has been cast yet, but the Pitch Perfect screenwriter Kay Cannon is working on the screenplay for this one, and it is coming out sometime in November. Next is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. She is obviously a master at writing mystery novels, so I think this will probably be a pretty good mystery movie. This one is about a detective who is pursuing a murder on a famous train. Kenneth Branagh is going to be starring in this one alongside Daisy Ridley, Johnny Depp, and Michelle Pfeiffer, and is going to be coming out on November 22nd. The next book-to-movie adaptation is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and this is a book that I see in the bookstore like every single time I go there, and I've been really curious to reading it. It follows 2 sisters in France during World War II, and they kind of find themselves in 2 different positions. One of them is in the resistance, and one of them is a prisoner. No one's been cast for the movie yet, but Anne Peacock will be writing the screenplay, and Michelle McLaurin will be directing. The release date is to be determined. Everything by Nicola Yoon is about a quarantine girl who is allergic to everything, and she falls in love with the boy next door. Now that part kind of sounds like a cliche insta-love thing, but I have heard a lot of good things about this book, so I would like to see how the movie turns out. It's going to be coming out on May 19th, and it will be starring Amanda Stenberg, Nick Robinson, and Annika Rose. The Circle by Dave Edgars. Now I actually haven't heard of this book before, but after watching the movie trailer, it looks really interesting. The Circle is about a girl who starts working for this company, and this company basically collects all of your banking, your social media, your email accounts, and puts it into one identity for you, which of course doesn't go well because nobody should have that much power. But I hear that this becomes a really good thriller book, and I'm excited to see how the movie goes. It comes out on April 28th, and it's going to be starring my girl Emma Watson, Tom Hanks, and John Boyega. Live by Night is a book written by Dennis Lehane, and this is a story about the making and unmaking of a gangster during the Roaring '20s. I watched the trailer for this one, and it actually seems pretty interesting. This movie is set to come out on on January 13th, which is actually the day in which I'm filming this. It's going to be directed by Ben Affleck, and he's also going to be starring in it, alongside Zoe Saldana, Scott Eastwood, and Sienna Miller. And finally, the movie adaptation that you guys have all been waiting for, whether you've known it or not, The Adventures of Captain Underpants by Dave Pilkey. Now, if like me, you have some childhood memories of a superhero in only his underpants and his cape, then you probably know what this story is about. It is about two young boys who make a superhero that comes to life, and it's the greatest superhero in their whole elementary school. This one comes out on June 2nd. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and if I missed any really exciting adaptations, feel free to tell me down below. Ready Player One is not coming out in 2017, it's coming out in 2018. Also, let me know if I should do the same type of video, but with TV shows coming out in 2017. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.